Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and welcome back to Herman Electro. I was spending a little time in the hub, and there are 3 items here that I don't think I've ever had in-game. One of them is a coin, which is unlocked by default. I don't remember ever having that item. So that one's interesting. The ammo pack that we got looks a bit like Herman's toolbox. I might have seen Herman's toolbox once in a shop, but it might have been the ammo pack, I'm not sure. But I don't think I've had Herman's toolbox in my inventory, or if I have, I've forgotten. And then the room re-roller. I can't remember if I have seen a bomb box as Herman. Like, do I have to play as Edmund to get the room re-roller, or could I play as anybody? Today I'm going to start by playing as Herman and see what I can encounter. And then next time I might play with Edmund, I think, again, just to see if I can get some of those new things. But for now, usually the first few rooms aren't... I don't know that I'd seen this, actually. I guess if I had a brick here, I could be standing here, throw the brick, they would all start funneling them out, and I could get them all into a hole, I'm pretty sure. Herman starts with a phoenix feather, so we can die in one room and still be saved. In here... presumably, if I open this, a guard will come out of here and start running towards me. So I might need the gun to shoot him before he gets to me. Is there any other way to cope with him? Not that I can think of, and I would be willing to spend the gun for that, I think. So let's try it. So there's the guard. I just need to shoot him before he starts... Oh, I got another gun. Before he starts stepping on the covered pit, because I want to make sure that I can make it out. And then this one I can just lure into that pit. So that's fine. So we cleared that room and basically ended up even from where we were. Let's see, that's a room we've definitely seen before. I do have the guns, that should make it easy. And this room... looks like I would need power here and something holding this down. So I could shoot the guard dead on this and that would hold him down, and that way I only have to use one thing. Otherwise I would have to use a brick or something else. Yeah, that feels pretty good to me. So I think if I just stand here, yeah, I guess I can toggle this whenever. And even if I move to the right, I'll be able to shoot him here. There we go. And he'll hold the button down, and I can get a sponge. Does not seem very useful to me, honestly. A sponge I can't use here, and a sponge I don't see a way to use here either. So it seems like I might need to take a death with my phoenix feather, unless... I guess... I could kill the guard in here as I walk over and get the tools, and possibly if I got... I would need a bunch of stuff. Alright, but here's something that hadn't occurred to me, which is if I open it up here, have the guard start walking this way towards me, and then step on here and have him kind of chase me around this corner, he'd fall in a hole and I could get all the way to here, maybe? Let's just try it and see how it goes. So basically, I want him to get closer to me like this, and then drop him in a hole. And let's just see what I get. I got a saw. One saw is enough to rescue me out of here, isn't it? Because I could cut this, and then walk through here. Yeah, that's better than using my phoenix feather, which could potentially save me a whole lot of resources. I still don't have a brick to do that room to the north. Alright, I said the first floor isn't always interesting, and look, here it is turning out to be interesting. Now this, with a single sponge... Actually, if I stood here, sponged this up, electricity would still be flowing other ways, and I could get there. Yeah. Alright, single sponge. You're doing work. Please give me a brick and something else. I got the brick, I didn't get the something else. I'm just going to take a peek in here. Okay, there's not a shop on the first floor. I could throw the brick through there, but I want to test out my understanding of the guard behavior in this room that I don't know that we'd seen before. So yeah, they're going to be running towards me, but I'm pretty sure I can throw the brick through here and then just start doing this and let them all... I see. So these guys are still following me this way, so I have to do a little bit more work to kind of one by one get them all stacked into this hole. And I got wire cutters instead. Alright, that's fine. I just wanted to have the experience of having gone through that room. But I guess since we're playing together, we can just continue on a roll here to start things off. Wire cutters wouldn't help me there, so I could go back for chests in the future. But in the present, we're going down to floor 2, and we get a saw and 3 different rooms. This room, a saw and a wire cutter seem insufficient to deal with, so let's return there later, perhaps with a sponge. Okay, here's a bomb box, which was under Natasha in the hub. Herman sees it, so I think possibly room reroller and Herman's toolbox are other things that could appear at any time here. Okay, so there is a toggle. Let's try turning the toggle off. Oops, I didn't realize it was going to blow up the bomb. I was planning to push the bomb around later. Why did it blow up the bomb? The bomb was adjacent to the floor wires. Right, I was looking at these wires and wasn't thinking about these ones that it blew up. Well, that's a shame. Okay. I mean, I could just saw my way through here, which is probably the only way I'm going to solve this room at this point, so let's just saw my way through here. 1 resource is perfectly fine. I did get some sponges, which could probably solve the room to the north, but while I'm here, if this guy stands on this, or no, if I stand on this, if I stand on this, power presumably toggles through here, there must be a NOT gate here, opens this, he starts chasing me. And so I'd need a way to deal with the guard. I could push the box into the hole, but I wouldn't have a convenient way to kill the guard or to exit alive. So those are the considerations in that room. Basically, a gun would be helpful, I suppose. And then what's in the room to the south? Fairly interesting. I think we tested before, and the floor wires were unaffected by the battering ram, and so the wires would stay on. It looks like I would want to press this into here to power all of this, but then I'd also want to be able to, like, batter my way through some of this as well. I could batter through here, and that would turn off the wires. That actually has possibilities. So suppose I battered through these 2 bits of wood, and then one to the north. That would cut off the electrical power to this section, which means I could push it further to the north. It'd still be kind of pinned. Like, I would like to break some of the glass as well. Or all of it. So imagine it's here, it's here, it's here. I could push it to the right, but then I wouldn't be able to push it to the north. When it's here, I could push it to the right, and then I could push it to the north and break all this glass. And then I'd only need 1 brick's worth of glass to get through here. That feels pretty good, and so if I get a brick, I think I have a plan for that, but let's see with my sponges. 2 sponges could easily just mop this up here. Is there any way to do it with 1 sponge? If I could sponge up this bit, it would turn off this whole section. However, I can't get into that bit safely. Is there any other way I could imagine spending only 1 resource on this room? I don't think there is, so I feel like 2 sponges is worth just spending. So let's do that. I got a saw and not a brick, so let's check out what's to the north. I I do have the Phoenix Feather as a kind of get out of jail free card if I need it. And I've got one wire cutter right now. One saw, huh? I could step over here, slide through here, wire cut this, but then I wouldn't be able to conduct the power through here. So I'd want the power going through here. Don't have a brick to throw up there. Yeah, none of that looks great. So, is there any way to break other blocks in this column and save me? I eventually need to turn this on, so I need the battering ram to end up here. I could break these two. I could break this one. I could push it one to the north. I could push it one to the right. I could push it to the north again. And I could even push it to the right. I could push it to the right here. But I still don't have a way through here, and if I break that, then I would break the conductivity for the electricity to go through. Yeah, I need it to end up here. So it still feels like I need a brick. So I think I might have a problem here. And it might be because of the fact that I didn't solve that room optimally. Is there any way to escape with this? Well, yes, because I have a saw. I could just use the saw. Okay, so let's use the saw here. There's my brick. Okay, and with the brick, I think I could do the south room. So let's check that out together. All right, there may be progress yet. So I think I want to push this here, break this like this, then go here, then go here. I talked to the developers, and they'll probably update the battering ram so it actually makes like the glass breaking noise, for example. Oh, I could go up through here and then back down. I did not notice that. So I don't need this brick actually, because I can do this, which doesn't help me because I still can't push it back to the north and I have to push it to the right here. Could I have done that any differently? If I push it to the south, I'll never be able to push it to the north again, right? Yeah, I don't think I could have done that differently, so I think I'm still happy to go ahead and do this and spend my brick the way that I was planning. But yeah, there's lots of rooms like this where I've had a first look and not figured out a way to use the battering ram optimally and then come back in another time later and figured out a different way to do it. I think I'm back to the same set of items that I had previously in this room and did not see a way to do it, so I am worried. I have a saw, I have a wire cutter, and I have a phoenix feather. The only way I possibly see to get in there without a plank or multiple saws is to go through this way and somehow get the power going. And if I go through this way, I step on this, the power goes through. And if I cut the wires, the power quits going through. So I think I'm using my phoenix feather. Just in case I'm seeing something, I'll go like this. But basically I can't go to the north right now due to safety. And if I cut the wires, I would spend my wire cutter and I would disconnect this power and I wouldn't be able to walk over there anyway. Oh, but I could use my saw to the left and go that way. Okay, I'm glad I actually stepped in here to look. A saw is less valuable than a phoenix feather, so I can saw this bit. Totally did not see that before. I still don't have a way out unless I spend this plank. Or no, I can walk out this way. Ah, okay, great. Oh boy. I am not thinking through all the steps all that well today. A dolly for 3 guns and a brick. Dolly does seem very interesting. Remember, that can move one tile somewhere else. And the short-term memory, which can reuse an item from before, but all of them require guns, which I don't have. Okay, so that's a shop we could come back to. I could trade wire cutters for something, but before I make any trades, let's head downstairs. If I get stuck, I can come back upstairs and make some trades, perhaps. But for now, we'll just go with what we've got and see if we can get lucky enough, perhaps, to uncover yet another new item. If I stepped here, we've seen this room somewhat recently, I think. This would close behind me. This would open. I can toggle this to witness what's inside, and I think there's a box in this one, and the toolbox is in this one, and there's concrete in between, is what I remember, assuming that it's the same room. It's a battering ram, not a box. All right. So knowing that, I don't know that that changes a whole lot for me. I could use a plank and a wire cutter and just get at the goal. So that one is solvable with 2 resources. And right now that's the only way I can think of to solve that one. This one, there's an AND gate. Could turn on power to both of these. It would power the floor. However, it would bring up both of these things in the way. I do have wire cutters, and so I could cut these wires first, then power both and go in. So 2 wire cutters would solve this one. So I could solve both the north room and the west room right now. This room, I think all the times I've solved this room, it's been by cheesing it one way or another. I don't have sponges, so it feels like solving it again probably would involve some kind of cheese. And finally, this room, which I don't immediately recognize, has some buttons that'll get stuck down and close some things behind me, and I'd be cement walled in. And so it feels like I would have to spend a couple of wire cutters to get back out. But if I did go in, I could simply walk through, grab the thing, and walk back out using 2 wire cutters. So wire cutters are currently my limiting reagent, as it were. So I'd need wire cutters in there, and I think this one could also be solved with 3 planks, whereas this one feels like I would need, yeah, like a bomb or something. So I feel like I want to use the wire cutters on this. I suppose also if I had a brick and a water bucket, that would be another way to do this. I do have the water bucket. I might be able to get the brick somewhere else. So let's actually do the north room first, because it required a plank and a wire cutter. There wasn't another power source in here, right? Let me just double check. This is the only power source, so cutting this to 1 wire on the left-hand side will completely depower the door. That's what I wanted to know. So I choose to spend 1 of my wire cutters here. We'll see what we get here. 2 more wire cutters. That's good. So that makes me feel even better about spending some wire cutters on this room this way now. So yeah, let's just chop, chop. And then I don't think it matters which way I go. So let's go this way, grab some tools, and we'll go this way back out. And since this is a room we haven't yet seen, I still have plenty of wire cutters. This is a room for spending buckets and planks or bricks, it seems like. So buckets and planks or bricks over that way. I think the left room, a wire cutter was good. Yeah, 2 wire cutters are great for this room. So let's use some of my wire cutters here since I have so many of them. 1. Just want to cut both of them before I stand on the things, just to make sure I don't make a mistake. 2. Okay, power that, the end gate goes up, these trapdoors go up, and I get 2 saws. And then I've completely forgotten what's to the south, and I still don't have the things for the room far to the east, so let's check out the south room next. And the saws would allow me to cheese a bit of this room, probably. Well, which bit? 2 saws isn't enough to completely get my way in. If I were to power this and this and this and this, so if I got into the interior of this, I could toggle this. Power would go to these floors. But that doesn't really help me, because I wouldn't be able to plank over this to get into this row in the first place, to come this way. And there's planks that I need here to get into this, so that room still doesn't seem doable without a phoenix feather, I think. I currently have an excess of saws. Let's go back upstairs. I could trade a saw for something else, because if I did use that, well, 2 saws. Could I have just walked into that room? Hold on. Or do I immediately slide? I immediately slide all the way down here, and then I'm kind of trapped. I would fall in a pit in every direction. So 2 saws isn't enough for me to like cut all the way through here, for example. And the wire cutters, yeah, I need like buckets and bricks or something in that other room. So let's go upstairs and see if we can exchange a saw or a wire cutter for something that might help me more. I got a sponge. That could totally help me in that other room. In fact, that might be enough to help me in that other room. So with 1 sponge now, where could the sponge save me? I could slide in here, slide into the corner, sponge the thing to the right, be able to walk out, toggle this, which turns on the power to this, and then cut a single piece of wood. And so a sponge and a saw would then solve this. Would I be able to walk out? No, because I still can't get in this column. What if I walk to the south, sponge the one to the north? Then I could walk out there, slide across here, get over there. Slide across here, cut my way in, get the toolbox, walk back out, slide across here, and then slide to the north. That would work. So that would be 1 sponge and 1 saw. I feel good about that. So I'm going to do this, followed by this, followed by this. I guess I could also just do this, cut my way in here, grab my tools, gently find my way in here and out. Great. And now I have 2 water buckets, which I think will enable me to solve the room in the far east. Maybe a water bucket and a water bucket. That would be sufficient here. Could I imagine anything better? There's a brick and a water bucket. It seems like I always need at least 2 resources, so far as I can tell, to make any of these solutions work. A water bucket and... yeah, I think I'm just happy enough with like water bucket, water bucket. So let's do that. Water bucket, water bucket. And I got a gun and a wire cutter and the exit and a shop where, ooh, not seen this thing before. It looks, I'm not sure what that looks like. We'll have to look at the name of this one back in the hub at the end of this if I can remember. It's like a stock market graph, but it's red, but it's going up or something. I don't know. All right, that looks interesting. I don't think I will encounter 2 scrap metal just on this one run. So let's just continue downward. I do still have the Phoenix Feather, which is a nice get out of jail free card, but let's hold on to it as long as possible. I hear the neighbor's dog. If I walk in and step on this, it does give me a way to go here, but then it also blocks this. but I would be able to walk back out. And I do have wire cutters, which means I could walk in, step on here. It would power this, so this would be down. I could cut the wire cutter here, and this would be up, but then I still wouldn't be able to get to this without using a plank, which I do have. So a plank and a wire cutter could solve that room, and I don't think it was any better on the other side. This room seems to require... looks like a brick and a sponge. There might be a way to solve it with 2 bricks, but I don't see a way to get out just yet. So, since I have the resources to do this room, if I did the plank first, seems just like bad things happen. Yeah, because I'd want power here, but not here. Yeah, so let's use a wire cutter and a brick. Alright, so cut this wire. Zing. And a brick. And a plank. Whatever this thing's called. There's my plank. There's my stuff. There's the door back open. Let's look to the north. And discover I could walk in here, but that would power this door, but I could cut it back open. But then I'd need a plank, but then I could power all this. But then I need another plank. 2 planks. Alternatively, saw and 2 planks. Saw, plank. 2 planks looks pretty good, and I have those resources. So I think I choose to spend... no, it was a wire cutter. Hold on. Wire cutter, plank. So that's 3 resources. A wire cutter and 2 planks. So I could also do saw, plank. So saw, plank also works. And did I need a wire cutter or a saw in this room? I've already forgotten. Or have I even looked in this room? Short-term memory. Right, I needed like bricks and sponges in this room. Okay, so wire cutter or a saw. Could I have used either of those upstairs? I could have used the saw. So yeah, let's use wire cutter, plank there, and let's spend the saw here and just see if we're going to get like a sponge or a brick or anything. Oh, a sponge and a saw. Okay, that was definitely a net profit. Okay, so... I would like to hold on to the saw still, so I'm going to use the wire cutter, plank here. So wire cutter to cut this. Plank to step over here. And a plank to step over here. And we got 3 resources back, which makes me happy. And we opened another room to the north. We do have a sponge, but we don't yet have a brick. Scary looking bomb. Which, if I cut the wire, the problem is the NOT gate then powers this. And then if I cut one of these wires to get through here, then the NOT gate starts powering this again. And if I cut 3 times, then everything would be turned off. Is that true? Would it still be turned off? Maybe. Would I need the bomb on the way out is what I'm trying to think of. Well, I could explode the bomb on the way out either way. So is there a way to get in with fewer than 3 wire cuts? Well, if I use the water bucket to turn the power off, this still turns on, and I still need to cut the other 2 wires, it looks like. And I can't throw a brick that far. If I had a spring, I could just jump in and explode the bomb on the way out. I do have a surplus of wire cutters, and it seems like the only way to solve this room right now, so I think I am willing to do so. So, wire cutters, do your thing. There's 1. Then I need to open the gate, so there's 2. And then I want to just get rid of all of this. Is there anything I'd ever want to explode here? I don't see why. I mean, I guess for convenience. Like, there's no harm in doing this. We get the nice explosion sound. And now I can walk out this way. So I didn't have to solve that other room. Ooh. 3 bricks would get me 3 chests here. So I would love to accumulate bricks. And 2 guns get me a flame. That's the ammo box, which would be 3 guns. So wire cutter, bucket sponge. I have wire cutter, bucket sponge. So I could trade that for the ammo box. Then convert the ammo box into 3 guns. Spend 2 of them to get a flame. That's a lot of possible complicated trading. But what I really want is bricks. So let me look back upstairs and see if there's any possibility of spending these resources to get some more bricks. I could spend a plank here. I could spend a wire cutter here. And remind me what craziness was happening over here. 3 guns and a brick for a dolly, and I could get the 3 guns from the other thing. I don't know that the dolly is that valuable, though. Like, that's a lot of resources to spend. So I'm going to hope for more bricks. I'm going to cut this wire. I got a saw. That is not a brick, sadly. I don't think there was anything useful upstairs. Oh, I was wrong. I don't want to spend a brick to get something. I am willing to spend a sponge. So let's see if possibly we can get a brick here. I got a brick. Okay. Possibilities still exist. And so if I spent a plank and got a brick, I might be very happy. So I'm willing to take that risk. I got a sponge. Not as happy as I could have been. Okay, and I think I'm on floor 4. I have 2 of the 3 bricks that I could want. Let's continue to look around and see if we can find a brick somewhere. I did leave 1 room unsolved on that level. But c'est la vie. Still don't have a brick, and we've got rooms in all 4 directions and lots of resources to spend. So I've seen this room before. I just need to... Oh, I need to place a brick on one of these to hold something down in order to get the power and spend a water bucket. And spend a wire cutter. So I think 3 resources to solve that room, which is not particularly appealing. Are any of these rooms any better? Perhaps I don't need to do that room. This room, it looks like I'd have to like break in here and step on these, but then it would do the wrong thing over here, so... And maybe there's a battering ram like trapped inside here or something. Or I could use 3 planks, and that's really not an easy room either. This is a room that I don't know that I have seen before. There are trapdoors, but no way to electrify them. So they're effectively just pits. How could I possibly... I mean, this could be a good phoenix feather room, I suppose. Because I can't imagine any way to solve this using any of my known tools. Yeah, so that one seems like a good phoenix feather candidate, honestly. And this one probably is solvable. However, I only have 1 water bucket, and 1 imagines that it might take more, and I don't have any wire cutters or things. I really want to try to get my hands on another brick to open up those 3 chests. So, since even with all of the tools in existence that I know about, I can't imagine a solution to this one, I'm going to spend my phoenix feather by doing this. Ah! Alright, we died. The phoenix feather saved us. It solved the puzzle. And sadly, I did not get a brick. But I did get some more water buckets and wire cutters, which are almost certainly the tools I would need for this puzzle. So, if I want all these things to come on, then I need this to come on, which means power would come from somewhere. I could snip and clip a wire here, for example. So in this spot, if I snip the wire and then poured a bucket of water, it would become conductive and therefore power this whole strip. So that would solve the left half. On the right half, Powering this whole strip would power the left-hand side, but this part would require a bucket of water here, I suppose. Because then it would get power from over here, which would flow through here and flow over to here. And actually, that might be the only one I need. If I put a bucket of water here, power flows here, it flows here, it flows here. Oh no, it flows into this side of the and. It doesn't flow into this side of the and. So yeah, I think I do need to do it in 2 places. But that's 3 resources that I do have extras of right now. So I do think that is a reasonable solution on this one. So I will first place a bucket of water here, just to kind of verify my hypothesis about how that's going to work. And then I think I want to snip this wire and then place a bucket of water. And I think everything will come out hunky-dory. There are probably other places I could do it as well. But this one looks good enough for me. So snip, pour, and that does indeed solve the puzzle. So I found at least one of the solutions. And we got a brick! Okay, I got 3 bricks. That was my goal. I'm going to take the 3 bricks upstairs to the bonus room. And I guess it doesn't matter which row or column I go through. Brick! 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 Show me something good! Water bucket! Gun! Gun! I have 3 guns now. Which meant I already forgot what I could buy with 3 guns. 2 guns could buy a flame. Flame's pretty good. And I do have the resources that I could buy the ammo box too. 2 guns for a flame sounds better for me right now, actually, though. I'm going to do it. Flame is extremely versatile. It can kind of like solve a whole room for free for you. So let's go back down to the 5th floor and see if we can just get out. So we solved these 2 rooms. Remind me what's up here. Flame wouldn't really help with this. And I also currently spent all my bricks, which means I'm probably not going to be able to solve this. Yeah, so let's hope I can solve this one. This one, I also don't have optimal resources for. And the ammo box wouldn't really have helped either. I need a strategy. Yeah, my strategy was have fun opening lots of chests and not think about what resources you still lack to solve certain puzzles. Feels like I needed 2 bricks and a saw and another brick to solve this puzzle. Don't love it. There were puzzles on previous floors I could go back to, which might help. I do have 4 planks. 2 planks and a brick actually would be even better. Can I find another brick? Let's go back upstairs and see if there may yet be a brick hiding. There's a puzzle I haven't solved there. I've already fetched the resources out of here. What was in here? Scrap metal. Can't do anything about that. Oops, I went the wrong way. I want to go up. I've already gotten the chests out of here, and I think I did this shop. No, I didn't do this shop. A gun and a sponge could get me, ooh, memory, which could give me an extra plank, which would allow me to solve that other puzzle if I did 5 planks and a wire cutter. So that is a possible solution using a gun and a sponge. And right now that's the only one I see. So I'm going to spend a gun and a sponge in order to get fleeting memory so that I can then do 5 planks by being clever. Well, clever. Spending 5 planks and a wire cutter to solve a puzzle. It's probably not the definition of clever, but considering I don't have bricks, let's hope it works. So if I plank, 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 wire cutter, I think it would work. And I don't think I see another way to do it right now, so I'm going to try that. So, plank. Let's use our fleeting memory plank before I forget about it, literally. Plank, 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 wire cutters, 6 resources, and I got 4 things and a new way to go. Okay, including 2 bricks, so the bricks could solve that other puzzle as well. Or help me solve the other puzzle in any case. However, I used all my planks. However, I did get a flame at some point, and the flame could actually burn down all of this and all of this and all of this and solve the whole puzzle instantly, right? No, because power would be lost to here. It's good that I thought about it before I just lit the world on fire. So now knowing that, what is the new solution? Well, I've used all of my planks. So maybe I want to go try to spend bricks and water buckets in the other room? Because I don't see... If the power goes off and I lose the steps, I don't have a way to get to the toolbox. And I don't think I see another way inside that doesn't cut the power. No, hold on. 3 saws. I could step off of this and back onto it. Pick up the toolbox. So 3 saws could do it, and I do have 3 saws. And I'm not sure that I have the resources in the other room, and this one seems more likely to me for whatever reason to get to the exit, so I'm going to spend 3 saws here. Going to step back on this, get this. It did open the exit, so I'm happy about that. We got more resources, I'm happy about that. And am I happy with the set of resources to bring downstairs? Is there anything I might want to trade? I don't think I would want the more guns. And I don't have the scrap metal for that other thing, so I feel like this is a good set of resources to head down into the basement with. So let's just give it a go and see if Herman can possibly get another win under his belt today. I wasn't expecting to commentate through an entire day of Herman, but it seems like that's what we're looking at. So I guess whenever you get down to the bottom floor, maybe you always pick up some scrap. And I got a sponge with it as well. Or maybe the sponge was from the toolbox and I didn't notice and it just kind of carried over. Okay, that's another thing I've never seen. So we've got the red arrow and now we have the floating baton scepter thingy. I don't have any superpowers. It's going to let me in there. So let's just grab our toolbox and head on to the next puzzle. But we have 2 things we want to inspect in the hub at the end of this. I do have wire cutters, so I could simply walk through and the power would all stay on when it needs to stay on, and then I can cut the wire on the way out. So that's all fine, and it would only spend 1 wire cutter, so this is nice and simple and straightforward. No, it's not, because there's electrical wires here that my brain failed to see, and I totally could have saved myself a resource by chopping this first. So I did a dumb. These things happen. I have more wire cutters, but I might... No, water bucket wouldn't help me here because the water bucket would just set up a puddle of electricity. So I'm spending my wire cutters here. So I've wasted some resources by coming in too hastily. Oh well. Oh, I don't need to spend a wire cutter here though because I just cut off the power here. Oh boy. All right, didn't think that one through very clearly, so let's stop and think a little bit more before we go rushing into what seems like a simple room. If I power this, it will simply become unpowered when the floor falls from beneath me. So it seems like I just want to spend bricks, or I could spend a saw and a brick and still be able to walk out. Or I could walk in this way and spend a brick and a brick. And I have multiple bricks and not as many saws, so I feel like spending 2 bricks is reasonable. So if I walk in here, break this with a brick, I wouldn't be able to walk out this way because I'd be crossing my own path and don't have planks. So I just spend another brick. Yes. Okay. Very confident. Brick. And brick. Okay. Feel fine about that. Down here, I have 5 saws, so if I walked carefully into here, I think this took like 3 saws. 1 saw, 2 saws, 3 saws, and I would still have access to all of the doors, correct? Yes, because I could walk around this way. So yeah, I've seen this room before and solved it, and everything worked out fine. So if I do this, I should be fine. So we're going to spend 3 saws. 1, 2, 3, and then take a long curling path into the next room. And I didn't even notice what we picked up, but let's assume it's going to be stuff that helps us. If I walked in from the south, I could cut off electricity here and here, and then use a wire cutter to cut power here. And then a saw or a flame to get out. Is there anything less than that I could imagine doing? I could also use the wire cutter here on the way in, and then walk on all 3 of these tiles to erase all of them. But that's also a wire cutter that's being spent. So either way, I'm spending a wire cutter. And either way, it seems like I'm stepping on this tile, which means I would have to cut some wood on the way out. And I don't see a way to avoid that. Because if I just spent the wire cutter and walked this way, power would still be flowing. So yeah, I think I'm okay stepping on these 2, cutting this wire, and then using a saw on the way out. So that is my plan, and I can still reach all the exits. Alright, so cut that. Come in here, and then cut my way out just using a saw, because it seems like the flame is more valuable. Let's go to the south. There's probably one more puzzle to solve. No, that is it. And I wonder if you use a map on this floor, if there's ever like a hidden room over here you could explode into with a bomb or something. So yeah, and 3 lights here. I don't know if the lights are like the number of people, so like if June, like I finally got to the basement, maybe something. I don't know. In any case, let's return to the hub and let's inspect those things that I at least caught a glimpse of. Interesting. Battering ram, I guess is an item I can hold in my inventory, possibly? Because I have battering rams here. Rising stock. Spend scrap metal in the metal shop. It's just called rising stock. I wonder if that allows you to like convert like 1 item into 3 or something. That's one of the things I saw. And missile. Missile was the other thing I saw. So presumably that's like a bomb, but rather than having to detonate it with electricity, maybe I could just like aim somewhere 5 squares away and detonate a bomb effectively. Those sound like fun things to play with in the future, if I do manage to unlock them. I only managed to get 1 bit of scrap metal, and I don't think I have resources to try to work on any of the meta puzzle in the hub. So we'll still call this a success, but it's kind of an incomplete success. All right. In any case, I hope as always that you guys are having a great day, and I will see you again soon with more Herman Electro. For now, bye-bye.